Okay, welcome to today's hearing, and today we will be considering a bill that further protects every New Yorker's fundamental right to declare who they are. Intro 954A allows people to declare their own gender identity on city birth certificates without a doctor's note. It also creates a new non-binary gender category for those who do not identify themselves as women or men. Now they can change their listed gender to X to better reflect their identity. This codifies a rule passed by the Board of Health last month. And just want to say that this is an example of respecting all New Yorkers and giving people the freedom of self-determination and self-expression. I want to thank Department of Health Acting Commissioner Dr. Auxirus Barbeau, Speaker Corey Johnson, who's the prime sponsor of the bill, Councilmember Mark Levine, the chair of the Committee on Health. I want to now welcome comments from those assembled. We have Cecilia Gentili of GMHC and Lala Zanel, New York City Anti-Violence Project. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Thank you for having us. So my name is Cecilia Gentili, and I work as the Managing Director of Policy and Public Affairs at GMHC. GMHC is the world's first HIV/AIDS service organization and is in the front lines of the epidemics in New York City, providing services for 13,000 people living or affected by HIV and AIDS. As part of our work, we serve many individuals living in New York who identify not only as transgender, but also as non-binary. We see constantly how folks with this identification have a hard time navigating the most common scenarios in life. Not because of who they are, but because of the lack of possibilities when it comes to reflecting oneself in terms of gender. We live in a very binary society that excludes people when their identity is outside these norms. Through this legislation, New York City chosen to stand up with the TGNC and non-binary, transgender, and non-binary communities by ensuring their identity documents accurately match who they are, without involving gatekeeping from medical community. We look forward to similar legislation advance for the transgender and non-binary community across New York State in all forms of identity documents in 2019. We often see individuals seek to discriminate against transgender community members by demanding that they identify based on the sex listed in their birth certificate, which is a piece of paper filled without their consent. This new law gives power back to the transgender community to make their own changes, as they know themselves best. As a transgender person who grew up in the 70s and 80s, you don't seem surprised. Identifying not as the gender that was assigned to me at birth, I had choose to go with the binary idea to survive, and I started identifying as a woman. I believe self-identification should have the nuances we need to reflect who we are. And sometimes that identification is not just male or female. We urge you to sign this important bill that will change the life of many New Yorkers and those around them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
You can actually pull the microphone out there.
Thank
I
you.
have
I'm
respect
always-
for the needs of
Thank
tall people,
you.
too.
Tall
The rights
lives
of the
ma-
tall.
Tall lives matter.
There you go. That's a quote. That's a quote right there.
You can use that one.
Yeah.
My name is Lala Zanel. I'm the lead organizer at the New York City Anti-Violence Project. We're a crisis organization that serves New York's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and LGBT HIV-affected communities through direct services and advocacy. AVP supports the passage of the gender marker bill because trans and gender nonconforming communities need identifying documents that reflect their gender identities and make the person feel more comfortable in who they are. Having affirming identity documents helps transgender nonconforming people move around the city and feel safer knowing that they have documentation that affirms who they are. The community members I work with daily who identify as gender nonconforming have been wanting a bill like this. And it is an important step for the city to see the importance of folks who identify as non-binary. The spectrum of trans identities is a huge big one, and non-binary identities are often left out of these conversations. Birth certificates are only one piece of this picture. There is a key piece of identification documents that make it possible for a person to change other documents. We are grateful to the city for taking this important step, but there is a lot more that needs to be done to ensure that trans and gender nonconforming folks can change all their documents to reflect who they are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I want to amplify that point that it is so important that we act because of the absence of options at the state and federal level. So much of the documentation that we depend on in our everyday lives comes from the federal government or the state government. Because these options are not available there, it's all the more important that New York City acts and other localities act to respect the needs of our people. I want to just say a few words in Spanish, and then I want to note up front we will be signing this bill in the coming days. Excuse me. At a separate event. Just a quick summary in Spanish. Hoy revisamos un proyecto de ley. Hold on, I can do this. 1 second. Just keep chanting Tall Lives Matter while I do it. You need to cover me with that for just a second.
I got you.
All right. Hoy revisamos un proyecto de ley que crea una nueva categoría de género en las actas de nacimiento de la ciudad. Esta ley permite que todos los neoyorquinos puedan determinar y declarar su propia identidad. With that, I want to close the hearing with thanks to all, and again, we will be looking forward to a bill signing event in the next few days with a lot of folks present to join together in celebration. Thanks, everyone.